Well, whether it is a small event or a really big affair, a wedding is a life-changing event for both the mother and the bride, both of them. Author Susan Wiggs wrote a book on her own experience helping to plan her daughter's wedding, and shares tales from what she likes to refer to as the bridal trenches and the lessons that they learned in the process. It's so great to have you on the show. Susan Wiggs is here sharing a little bit about the book, and you're probably looking at her going, now, is she the mother of the bride or is she the bride?
Oh, I'm not leaving here.
That was the question I had when I walked into the green room this morning. So tell me a little bit about how you felt when your daughter says, Mom, I'm getting married.
Oh, I was overwhelmed. I was so excited that I actually had to do a chapter in the book about it. And that was this, instead of being a how-to book, it's kind of a how-not-to book. And I sort of jumped the gun on, telling friends and family.
You stole the thunder from
I did. And it ended up being a very funny situation. And so that was when we realized, we need to write a book about this, because we immediately ran to all the bookstores and got the How to Plan Your Wedding book, and by the end of the day I was ready to hit myself in the head with a hammer, because all the books tell you have to learn how to do 500 things, simultaneously, and meanwhile we were having meltdowns in the parking lots.
Now, were you bickering or were you besties?
Both. Okay. I was my daughter's best friend some days, and I was her punching bag some days, and she was the tantrum thrower some days, and she's not here so I can talk smack about her, but she ended up,
any good mother would do.
She ended up being a spectacular bride, but the journey was unbelievable. And it was so intense that she ended up starting a blog about it, which went viral. And one thing that readers tuned into her blog, it's called it's called IamTheBeholder.com. And our readers would tune in every day to see us bickering in the comments below the blog, and eventually it turned out that it needed to be organized into a book. It's a very funny book.
So so you went and you saw the 500 different ways to plan a wedding at Barnes & Noble, Borders, or wherever you go.
Yes. We bought them all.
You bought them all. And then they weren't serving your purposes because it wasn't the way you wanted to plan your wedding?
No, it was that I felt completely inadequate and out of my league.
But aren't we all, as brides? And
according to the books, no. According to the books, we're all Martha Stewart. And so I just thought, well, there's a place in this world for a book that tells about, the cupcake wars, and, forgetting your Spanx on the wedding day, and,
I would cancel the wedding. I'm just saying. That would be a game changer for me. Sorry, we're going to have to reschedule for next Saturday when I can wear my Spanx.
Yeah, so it's really kind of a fun and funny story about getting to the altar, and who cares about the wedding more than the bride? It's not the groom. It's the bride's mother.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you recommend this as something that a bride should read, or the mother, or both? I mean, I feel like I know the answer to that.
It's told in two voices.
Okay.
Elizabeth, the daughter, tells her perspective, and then I come in with my snarky mom comments.
Well, and we can't let you go, because if you've got a great piece of, a great tip. It could be anything from cupcakes to,
besides being allowed
carnations.
To forget your Spanx.
Yeah, don't forget, no. Besides that, what's your best real practical tip that maybe brides or mothers of the brides don't know?
That they might not know. I would say pay attention to who your guests are, because one of the most fun aspects of our reception was everybody had a name card that had a fun tidbit about them. Like mine said, ask me about my novel, and I could talk about my latest
I like that.
novel. Yeah, and somebody else asked me about my Indian tribe.
Great conversation.
They were
but you know what?
conversation
That's a great
starters.
entertaining tip in general.
It is. It would work in any situation where you're bringing together people from disparate tribes and you're trying to get everybody to all get along.
Different tribes. Yeah. In-laws, outlaws, they can become different tribes, can't they? Hopefully they all meld into one.
Well, readers like the in-law chapter probably the best from me. So.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story with us, and
Oh,
we
you're
wish
so
you the best of
welcome.
luck with the
Thank you
success
for
of this
having
book.
me.
And
I really appreciate it.
can't wait until you write the one about your grandchildren. That should be interesting.
Oh, I hope so.
The book is called How I Planned Your Wedding, and you can find it anywhere the books are sold. And so, Susan, we do appreciate you being here.